Welcome back to the Lucas Oil ASCS show. I'm Scott Traylor. I'm with Kirk Elliott, who joins us in the studio now for this week's ASCS Regional Headlines. And they are brought to you by Griffith Truck and Equipment in Houston, Texas. Here is Kirk Elliott with those ASCS Regional Headlines.
And it is getting to that time of the year where we're very busy around the country. 2 ASCS regions kicked off their 2012 campaigns over the weekend. And we'll start with the Engine Pro Sprints on Dirt presented by ARP. And Elida, Ohio's Darren Long started from the pole and led from start to finish ahead of perennial winner Dustin Daggett and third-place finisher Greg Dahlman up at Crystal Motor Speedway. Dahlman came from 13th starting spot to almost pick up the win, but he fell just a little bit short. The American Bank of Oklahoma ASCS Sooner Region got things going on Saturday night at Lawton Speedway amidst threatening weather. Sean McClellan took full advantage of his pole starting position and led all 25 laps in a race that just took a little bit over 10 minutes to run. Danny Jennings and Shane Sillers were second and third respectively. The Griffith Truck and Equipment ASCS Gulf South region paid a first-ever visit to Colleen's Texas Thunder Speedway. Starting sixth, Michael McNeil moved past Travis Elliott on lap 13 of the 25-lap feature and fought off several late challenges from Elliott to record his first-ever ASCS victory. Shannon Tankersley wound up third. Jeremy Sherman scored the ASCS Canyon Region top prize Saturday night at Canyon Speedway Park. Sherman shot past pole sitter Bruce St. James on lap 4 and paced the remaining 26 laps for his second straight Canyon Clash title and the 34th of his career in the ASCS Canyon region. Mike Colgrove was second and Charles Davis Jr. wound up in third spot. Well, this coming weekend, the Sooner region battles it out Friday night at Creek County, while the Speedway Motors Warrior region take on Lucas Oil Speedway down in Wheatland, Missouri. Also on Saturday, the Oil Medics Lone Star region visits Cowtown Speedway near Fort Worth, and the ASCS Non-Wing Canyon region heads to Cocopah Speedway in Yuma, Arizona.
Thanks, Kirk, for those ASCS racing headlines. And joining us now, talking about the regions, is the current ASCS Warrior Region point leader and the winner at Valley Speedway on the first night of the season, Jonathan Cornell. Jonathan, how you doing, friend?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thanks for taking the time and calling in.
Yeah, that's good, man. We love having you up here in the studio, but I know you guys are busy moving right now. You've moved to a new location with your shop, haven't you?
Yeah, we own a sandblasting and powder coat shop here in Fidelia, and we've been busy the last 2-3 years, so we decided we're going to kind of expand a little bit. And the last week and a half, I hate saying this, but thankfully we weren't racing just because we had time to get this thing moved. But I'm anxious to get back in the seat this weekend for Wheatland.
What's the name of your sandblasting or powder coating business, and how would they get a hold of you if somebody would be interested in using your services down that way?
Yeah, if anyone's interested, it's called SureCoat Powder Coating. We are located here in Sedalia, just north of town, right by 65 Highway. And if you need to get a hold of us, just either give me a call. I know a lot of you probably have my number. If not, our number here at the shop is 660-827-6666.
All right.
And I could probably put a link up later on the message board or something like that.
I know we plan on using your services with our sprint car as well. So I've seen your work. It's a really top-notch. So if anybody is interested in using a quality powder coating business, be sure to look up Jonathan and their business. All right, Jonathan, let's get into the good stuff. You're the current point leader with the ASCS Warrior Region. You picked up a win over Chad Eli. Take us back a couple weeks ago on that win. That's a hell of a way to start the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a huge confidence booster, and it's actually my only race so far this season, and which is kind of a bummer. I hate being out of the seat as much as we had been this winter and then this early in the season too. But there's quite a few cars there on hand. We had a lot of fast guys there. Just defending, I guess 2 years ago, points champion Randy Martin, Brad Lowett, who won the points last year, wasn't there, but Brian Brown was there, and just a lot of fast guys. And we have a couple of new additions to our team, and we all worked really, really well together and had the car in top notch and started fifth and kind of worked traffic pretty good, made our pass about halfway through the race and took home the win.
Yeah, I was going to say, where did you start in that race? You were pretty deep.
Yeah, we won our heat race, and we started on the pole, which always helps a ton, but that redraw, it can either help you or hurt you, and we drew right in the middle. We drew 5, so we weren't too far forward, but we weren't too far back either. And I think the cautions kind of worked in our favor a little bit too. We kind of had to settle down and regroup ourselves, but there wasn't too many cautions where we'd keep out of lap traffic, and then when we got in the lap traffic, it just seems like our car rolled around them a little bit better than some of the other guys.
I know when you got up to Chad and Randy, it was pretty spirited battle there for a few laps.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. None of us wanted to let off any, and we were all going for that top spot, and we're dicing it back and forth from each other, and it seemed like, we put on a heck of a race for the fans. And, Green Valley always does that. I know you guys have a race later on this year for the National Tour guys, and for any of you guys that haven't been out to Green Valley, man, it's an awesome place to watch the sprint cars.
Yeah, that is May 23rd. RacinBoys.com presents the Lucas Oil ASCS Sprint Car Series National Tour, and it also include the Warrior Region guys. And surely you'll be coming in there to try to win the Warrior Region Championship. Now, you've done a lot of great things. I know you got Rookie of the Year up at Knoxville a few years ago, and you finished second in points. And but, man, to win the Warrior Region, that'd be a big deal for you, right?
Yeah, it's something we've always wanted to do. We've tried for a couple of years, and best we finished, I think, is second behind Randy Martin. You got Rookie of the Year that year also. And last year, I was real confident in trying to get it, and we just we couldn't get it done. Had a lot of bad luck, and just things weren't going the right way. But we haven't done too much to the car. It's all the same old stuff we've had since 2008. But we just had a different paint job and a couple different sponsors. Impact Sign of Lighting here in Sedalia helped us out with the wrap job, and they do an awesome job. And I don't know if it's the color of the car or what, but we just seem to have everything going this year for us.
So I guess just take us through how difficult that is right now. For a guy with your talent, I think a lot of us feel that you should be out on the national tour, that you have the talent and the ability to get it done at the national tour level. But unfortunately, man, it's just hard to find the sponsors to get you out there.
Oh, yeah, and, I don't think I'm preaching to anybody out there. I mean, everybody knows how tough it is with fuel prices, and and I've lost a lot of good sponsors, ones that we've had when I first started racing 360s. And, I predicted right now at this day and age I'd already be on a national tour with the sponsors I had. But, business was just real tough with them. And, we understand, and we're still out there trying to find other sponsors, but it's tough. I mean, it's tough for everybody. But hopefully, we can keep running good with the stuff that we have and try to stay out of trouble, maybe open the eyes of some people in the stands and realize, we could get a win with some help out there with some other people. And I don't know, maybe next year or two we can try to travel on the tour with you guys.
We're still going to see the VKCC. Was Stubbs still going to be involved with your team this year?
Yeah, they're helping us out a little bit. They slowly, after Jesse passed away, they're kind of wanting to get out of sprint car racing a little bit. And, for all the race fans out there, you can't just stop racing. It's always in your blood. Once it's in your blood, it's always in there. And they wanted somebody they can kind of go to the races and cheer for. And we had a mutual agreement on how they were going to help us. And, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to put us on the national tour or USAC series like Jesse did. But, every little bit helps. And we appreciate everything that Tom and NASA have done for us from VKCC. And hopefully, things will go a little bit better for them this year, too, and they can start helping out a little bit more towards the end of the season.
Yep. All right, so this is a big weekend. Warrior Region is going to be down at Lucas Oil Speedway, one of our favorite tracks on the national tour, as well as one of our favorite tracks all over the country. Probably, well, there's no question. It's the nicest track anywhere in the country. I've seen just about all of them west of the Mississippi, and it is by far the nicest track. Talk about this weekend and your chances going down there. Are you looking forward to going in as the point leader?
Oh, yeah. Like we mentioned earlier, me winning the first race of the season is a huge confidence booster. And Wheatland's only about an hour and a half away from my house, so I'll have a lot of fans and a lot of family and a lot of sponsor support down there. And I've won a race down there in the 305, yet to win one in the 360, but had finished in the top 5 with the national tour guys down there. So I think we're capable of running up front. And I know there's probably going to be some of the national tour guys maybe peeking in this weekend. I don't know if Seth Bergman or Jason Johnson or some of those guys might show up, but it's not going to be an easy one. But I think that, if we have the same car that we had at Green Valley, we shouldn't have any trouble running in the top 3.
How about Jason Johnson living down there in central Missouri with you guys now?
Yeah, I know. I tell you what.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is. It's hard to say it, but I think it's good for him on the traveling part. We're located pretty much in the center of the United States, and they're racing a lot, so they can kind of get back here whenever they need to real quick. And we have to race with them on a weekly show this year anywhere, but I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
I believe Bergman is going to make it there after picking up his first national tour win down at the ditch last weekend. So that's what he said on the show here a little bit earlier. So I'm sure you're going to see several of the national tour guys come down there, and it makes sense for them to go down there as well, because knowing that the national tour is going to go there a couple times this year, it's a good way to go down there and get some test session in it at the same time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It helps them out, and I think it helps guys like me out there on the Warrior season, too. We get a chance to go down there and make some laps, but we also get a chance to race with some of these faster national tour guys, and we can kind of expect a little bit of what's going to happen later on in the season whenever they come back down here.
Yeah, and it seems like that Dan Robinson and his crew down there at Lucas Oil Speedway have figured something out about that racetrack in the last couple of years, because it seems like every time we go down there now, even with our series, with the ASCS, and we see it with the late models and the modifieds down there, they've kind of figured that track out, because the first couple of years it kind of had a reputation of being slick and hard to pass, but it seems like it always has two grooves now.
Yeah, it seems like that, and a lot of people call that track, a door banger track with the modifieds and late models, and I can kind of see that. They race those every week, and it seems like those guys like a hard, slick track so they can get around each other. But, it also seems like for those sprint car shows, the track workers down there, they just know what to do to make it good for sprint cars.
Yeah. How about your boy Kyle Bellham? Got him a top 10 finish down there at Salina High Banks. Not bad, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, he's representing the Warrior region really good, and he lives in southern Missouri, so some of those races down in Arkansas and even northern Texas or Oklahoma he can make.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jonathan, congratulations on the win at Valley Speedway and having the current being the current point leader. I guess you're, let me look here, 8 points over Chad Eli right now. So it looks like you got a good chance at it, and good luck the rest of the way for you.
Yeah, appreciate it, Scott, and we'll see you this weekend.
All right, Jonathan, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jonathan Cornell, and we all know that guy is a gasser, man. And you know what? I'd love to see him running with us out on the Lucas Oil ASCS Sprint Car National Tour, but the Warrior region is blessed to have him running there, and he's going to be a contender for that championship this year. When we come back, we'll have more of the Lucas Oil ASCS show right here on RacinBoys.
Griffith Truck and Equipment is Houston's #1 dealer for specialized used trucks with more than 50 years of service. Griffith stocks all makes and models of trucks for every need and will build to your specifications. Visit them online at griffithtruck.com or call 281-457-2195. Griffith Truck and Equipment is the proud sponsor of Gary Wright, the all-time winningest driver in the ASCS, 2011 Brodix Rookie of the Year Aaron Reitzel, and the Griffith Truck and Equipment ASCS Gulf South Series. Watch for the Teresa Griffith-owned Sprinter at a track near you. Griffith Truck and Equipment.
Welcome back to the Lucas Oil ASCS show. I want to thank all of our guests, William Johnson, Seth Bergman, Brian Holbert, and Jonathan Cornell for being on the show. It's time to watch a couple A mains. We're going to show you both Salina High Banks race as well as the ditch Saturday night down at West Memphis, Arkansas. We're going to be back here with the ASCS show in 2 weeks following the race at I-30 Speedway in Little Rock, Arkansas. For Kirk Elliott, I'm Scott Traylor. We'll see you then.
25 laps with the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour set to get underway this time at turn number 4. It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Jack Dover will lead him to the drop of the green. Wayne Johnson to his outside. Dover looking for his first win of the year with the National Tour. Johnson looking for a second. They've got the nation's best right behind them. Ladies and gentlemen, this time they work into turn 3. And at turn number 4, the green flag waves and we are underway. Just like that, Wayne Johnson will bolt into the race lead on the high side as they work through turns 1 and 2. The field get a fan out as they work down the back straightaway. Wayne Johnson will be your race leader. Mike Goodman right now in the oil field equipment and manufacturing 11G going to sit in second. Then it's going to be Matt Covington. Jack Dover going to fall back to 4th here in the opening laps. Brian Brown down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to run at your top 5. Brad Loya currently running in 6 as they go side by side for 7. Zach Chappell down to the inside line, trying to seal away from the 45X of Johnny Herrera. Herrera up to the high side of the Salina High Banks. He's going to hold on to his correction. That is the 33 of Danny Lasowski. I apologize. It's Lasowski down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get the run on Hollywood as they work to the back straightaway. As we've got a car coming to a stop of the high side of turn number 2. That looks to be the one of Sean McClellan. McClellan will force the caution here early on in this A main. Time flies when you're having fun as we're set to go here. Wayne Johnson trying to get his second win of the season here with the National Tour. He's going to set a slow pace into turn number 4. He's going to hold them all the way out until they hit the straightaway. We're green, we're gone. The field will roar back to life. Brady Bacon off the bottom and onto the high side, trying to march his way up through the field here on the restart as he blew by the 50Z of Zach Chappell. Now going to set his sights on the 36 of Jonathan Beeson. Beeson, though, off the high side, and he is off the racetrack. Jonathan Beeson's 36 spins it up on the high side, keeps it on all 4, but the caution must fly again. Jonathan Beeson skipping the cushion through turns 3 and 4, spins the car up off of the racing surface, but nonetheless finds himself in a shooting gallery. Don't forget, tomorrow, if you can't make it down to West Memphis, Arkansas for the Rock and Roll 50, you can always go down to Lawton Speedway. The American Bank of Oklahoma ASCS Sooner Region will be in action. You can find all that information again at ASCSRacing.com as the field bunches up into turn 3, looking for the green this time at turn number 4. Wayne Johnson picks up the pace. We're back underway. They run high, they run low, they work into turns 1 and 2. The 99 of Brady Bacon trying to go after the 50Z of Zach Chappell here as they work to the high side. That's going to be the battle for 11th now. Jason Johnson starting to march his way up through the field. He goes side by side with the 2 of Dustin Morgan. Those two going to try to split cars. They work into turns 1 and 2. Jason Johnson up on the high side, moves around the 23 of Seth Bergman as we go back to the front of the field. The City Vinning 77X of Wayne Johnson by a straightaway. Jack Dover on the restart, able to take away second here. The Roush Yates Ford trying to run down the Chevy-powered 77X. It is going to be the 11G of Mike Goodman right now running in third. Brian Brown is up into fourth. Your top 5 is going to round out with Aaron Reitzel, but not for long. No, excuse me, Matt Covington. Covington diving down to the bottom of the 05 of Brad Loyette. Loyette went for the slide jump. Overshot the high side, though, as they worked up a turn number 4. He's going to give it right back to the 11C, and now has to contend with Daniel Lasowski. Lasowski going to steal away 6 as they work into turns 3 and 4. Loyette trying to battle back up on the high side. These drivers right up on the ragged edge, trying to get as much momentum as they can, as Loyette's able to steal the position back away from Lasowski for the time being. Lasowski, though, down to the bottom, going to use traffic to his advantage. The 11C getting sideways off of turn number 2. That's going to hold up the 05. Lasowski going to get by both of them. As Lasowski tries to work up into the top 5, we go back up to your leader, Wayne Johnson, down to the inside of Gavin Punch. He's going to put him a lap down. Gavin nearly making contact with your race leader, though, as they work up at turn number 4. Wayne Johnson still by a straightaway over Jack Dover. Dover still running in second as the battle for third. Now give it to Blackjack Brian Brown. Brian Brown able to make his way by the 11G of Mike Goodman. Goodman going to fall to fourth. Lasowski rounding out your top 5. Then it's going to be Covington, then Loyette, then Herrera. Then you're going to find Brady Bacon, then the 9 Gary Wright right now running out your top 10. The 41 of Jason Johnson runs in 11th. The 23 of Seth Bergman in 12th. 13th is going to be Tony Bruce Jr. 14th is Kyle Bellum. Your top 15 going to work off at turn number 4. It's going to be the 87 of Aaron Reitzel. Then it's going to be the 2 of Dustin Morgan, the 50Z of Zach Chappell. Then it's going to be Danny Wood in 81. Then we'll find your race leader right now, Wayne Johnson, lapping almost into the top 15 here as he's going to put the 81 a lap down into turns 3 and 4. Danny Wood 1 lap down to competition. Into slower traffic we go. There are 2 lap cars between your top 2 drivers. The 77X of Wayne Johnson, the 53 of Jack Dover continue to work high and low here on the Salina High Banks. Dover this time, Meyer down to the bottom of the racetrack. He goes around the 22 of Kobe Barksdale, now to the inside around the 36 of Jonathan Beeson. Beeson a lap down to competition as the 77X of Wayne Johnson puts Zach Chappell now a lap down, as he'll maintain that 2 lap car advantage over the 53 of Jack Dover. It is Johnson, then Dover. Then it's going to be the 21 of Brian Brown sitting in third. Fourth is going to be Mike Goodman. Your top 5 continues to round out with Daniel Lasowski. Then you're going to find the 11C of Matt Covington, but the driver right now on the move is going to be the 45X of Johnny Herrera and the 99 of Brady Bacon, as those 2 will go side by side to the front straightaway. Both of them trying to fight their way into the top 5 here. Brad Loyette sitting in 6th, Bacon sitting in 7th, 8th is going to be Herrera, 9th right now is going to be right up into the top 10. It's Jason Johnson. Jason Johnson's 41 up on the high side of the Salina High Banks, right to the back bumper right now of Johnny Herrera's. You've got a 3-car battle into turns 1 and 2. Gary Wright down to the bottom of the racetrack. He runs in 9th. Herrera holds on to 8th. Jason Johnson still your top 10 as we'll make it a 4-car battle. Let's throw in Brady Bacon. Brady Bacon in the 99 goes to the high side as they try to make it 3 wide. Gary Wright down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jason Johnson stuck to the middle this time, going to try to split hairs. He goes up in front of Johnny Herrera, kills off his momentum, though. Herrera down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll steal it back down the back straightaway. Johnny Herrera Taking back ninth, Jason Johnson, though, off of turn number 4. He's going to bolt by the 45X on the high side. As Herrera now going to round at your top 10 as we'll look for your leader this time down the front straightaway. He goes around the 87 of Aaron Reitzel. He has Reitzel, Dustin Morgan, and Danny Wood right now between him and Jack Dover. Dover about a straightaway behind in the 53 as he's got company creeping up. The 21 of Brian Brown starting to creep up on the 53 of Jack Dover. Dover, though, going to put a lap car between him and the Casey's General Store number 21 as they work down the front straightaway. Brian Brown right now rounding out your podium in third. Then it's the 33 of Daniel Lasowski running in fourth. Your top 5 is going to round up with the 11C of Matt Covington. Then you're going to find the 05 of Brad Loyette as one driver slow on the bottom of the racetrack. The 22 of Kobe Barksdale. He makes it down to the infield. We continue on green flag racing. It's going to be Loyette in 6th. 7th right now is going to be the 99 of Brady Bacon. 8th is going to be the 9 of Gary Wright. 9th, the 45X of Johnny Herrera. Back to 10th is the 41 of Jason Johnson. Then you'll find the 23 of Seth Bergman. The 18 of Tony Bruce Jr. right now going to run in 12th. 13th is going to be the 14K of Kyle Bellum. Then we find your race leader. Your race leader right now trying to lap up into 13th. 14th for the time being is going to be the 87 of Aaron Reitzel. Your top 15 is going to round up with the 2 of Dustin Morgan. Dustin Morgan right in front of the 53 of Jack Dover is going to hold him up a little bit as Dover with a full head of steam off of turn number 4 had to slam the brakes as he had the 77X within striking distance. Wayne Johnson not able to get around the 14K, and that's allowing Jack Dover to close in. Wayne Johnson down to the bottom of the racetrack. This time, though, as a caution will fly. Caution waving, right rear flat on the 11C of Matt Covington. So Covington is down into the pit area. Mike Goodman's 11G is down in the infield. Out early in this main event. The 22 of Kobe Barksdale also down in the infield. "20 laps in the books, 20 and 5 to go. It'll be a dash to the finish here, 20 and 5 to go. Wayne Johnson, again, your race leader. Jack Dover, Brian Brown, Danny Lasowski, and Logan Ford, make that the 05 of Brad Loyette. I apologize, rounds out your top 5. Set to go it again. It's a 5-lap dash to the finish. Can Wayne Johnson hold on for a second win of the 2012 season with the National Tour? We'll find out this time. Green is out. Dustin Morgan drops to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to allow the field to race by. Here is Jack Dover, not able to get the run, though. The bottom of the racetrack working good for the lap car. Dustin Morgan, as now Jack Dover trying to get the run through turns 3 and 4. He will get it, but the 77X is already stretched to a straightaway. Wayne Johnson with less than 4 laps to go here as he works off at turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. It's going to be Johnson, then Dover, then it's Brian Brown, now Daniel Lasowski. Lasowski down to the inside of the 21. They're going to go side by side. They go 3 wide with slower traffic as contact between Lasowski and Dustin Morgan's number 2. Lasowski crawling the left front of the arc wrecking number 2, and that will force the caution. My, oh my, Danny Lasowski trying to race by slower traffic, accidentally making contact with Dustin Morgan's left front. Let's find out who's going to take the victory here at the Salina High Banks. Wayne Johnson did it the last time he was here in 2001. He's poised to do it again tonight. The green is out. Brian Brown trying to sneak the cone. He dives to the inside of the 53 of Jack Dover. Brian Brown takes over second. Jack Dover going to fall to third. The 33 of Danny Lasowski and the 05 of Brad Loyette as he gets around the 81 of Danny Woods as he will try to run down and try to gain some position here. As they work into turns 1, though, your leader working at a turn number 2. They go side by side, the battle for second. Jack Dover nearly looping the car on the high side of the exit of turn number 2 as they work this time off at turn number 4. Wayne Johnson only a couple of laps away from the checkered flag. It's Wayne Johnson, Brian Brown, Daniel Lasowski, Jack Dover, Brad Loyette. They run first through 5th into turns 1 and 2. As Jack Dover back to the high side of the 33, the battle for third, a good one. Jack Dover and Daniel Lasowski trading it back and forth as your leader, this time to the white flag. One more time around. Wayne Johnson already with 2 National Tour victories here at the Salina High Banks. He works down the back straightaway this time into turn 3 and a turn 4. He'll make it 3 National Tour wins at the Salina High Banks. Wayne Johnson, your race winner. Wayne Johnson, your winner. The 21 of Brian Brown will take second. Jack Dover rounding out your podium in third. Daniel Lasowski and Brad Loyette at your top 5. The 45X of Johnny Herrera in 6th. The 9 of Gary Wright. The 99 of Brady Bacon. The 41 of Jason Johnson. And the 18 of Tony Bruce Jr. rounds out your top 10. The front straightaway sent him off. Back straightaway, it's up to you. It's time to get on your feet, wave to these drivers, and let them know how much you appreciate them coming out and putting on a show. As the caution lights are down, Ben, we are ready to go. 50 times around the Parts Plus Riverside International Speedway. Green flag.
Loyette with the hole shot. Roller almost spun it out as they go off into 1 and 2. Loyette, your leader. Roller in second.
As they move down the back straightaway, Seth Bergman now going to go after Roller. They go into turns 3 and 4. Bergman going to the high side now, peeks down to the middle, but it's going to be Loyette, your race leader.
Loyette, your leader. Then it's the 5 of Roller in the second spot. Oh, Roller bicycles in 1 and 2. He keeps it together. It's going to be the 23 of Bergman in third.
As Bergman right now sitting in third. Roller, though, doing a fantastic job of holding on to that race car. As the 40 now going to throw his name into the mix. That is going to be Eric Ainsworth.
And the number 20 car of Joey Mohan spins it around down in turn number 4. And we've seen the first caution as Springfield, Illinois. Joey Mohan brings out the caution now with just 1 down officially. 1 down, 49 to go. You see the cone on the front straightaway, cannot pass before they get to that cone as we look for the number 05 of Loyette and that Maxim race car to get back on the loud pedal with 49 laps remaining in the 4th annual Rock and Roll 50.
They work off of turn number 4. Brad Loyette picks up the pace. They work down the front straightaway. Everybody right now going to fan out into turns 1 and 2. Loyette out front and in command as we've got one upside down. Look out. It is a 13 of Tidmore.
Tristan Tidmore gets hard into the wall. Anthony Nicholson with nowhere to go gets into Tristan Tidmore. That was hard contact for that youngster. It looked like that car just went head on into the wall off into 1 and 2.
Letting it get away from him as now we wait for word from race officials on the condition of our driver. And again, the 16 with nowhere to go. But Anthony Nicholson doing a great job of getting that thing woed up and using that big soft right rear to be able to kind of cushion against that top wing.
Well, that'll be the red flag right there. Still stuck on a lap number 1. And we'll wait and get on word on Tidmore. Looks like Tidmore is up there walking around at the top of the corner down in 1 and 2. So that's good news. That was a pretty solid hit for that young man.
I mean, and really, what a heartbreak to be running up in the top 5 this early in the race and have a shot at getting up and racing with the leaders and to see his night end like this. But still, the safety equipment and everything that these drivers spend so much money on, everything holding together, the chassis, custom built, custom made, everything done with care, the Hans device, 5-point seat harnesses, so Butler built safety seats, everything these drivers do to stay safe in these race cars.
And Loyette gets a good jump. He's got Roller following him off into turns 1 and 2. Ainsworth working the low side. He'll stay in 4th. Gary Taylor in 5th.
Gary Taylor going to go after Ainsworth again as they work into turns 3 and 4. Now let's throw Terry Gray into the mix. We'll make it a 3-car battle. Terry Gray down to the inside line.
Turn 3 and 4 getting extremely slick, and you're starting to see a lot of slide jobs. Loyette and Roller this time not letting Loyette get away from him. 2-car lengths separate him at the flag stand.
Brad Loyette leading as they work down the front straightaway. Roller down to the inside line. The side-by-side battle for the race lead. Here we go down the back straightaway. Contact! Loyette and Roller. Left rear to right front. Everybody continues on.
2 talented young drivers going at it at the front of the pack. Another talented youngster, Seth Bergman, right there behind him. As business is picking up, Chris Williams and Terry Gray side by side for 6th.
4 in, 46 to go. 4 laps in, 46 laps remain, and it's a side-by-side battle in the back straightaway. Terry Gray up on the high side, and 10 is, oh my, the 8X gets it sideways, gathers it back up, though. Wow, what a save.
And I'm telling you, Brian, it is getting slick down in 3 and 4, and now lap traffic becoming a reality, only a half a straightaway in front of your leaders as we complete lap number 6.
Looking further back in the field, drivers that had to make their way in out of B main, the 77X of Wayne Johnson. Now, him and Gary Wright trying to make their way up through the running order, as is Brady Bacon and Jason Johnson as they all run towards the back of the field. Your leader starting to run them down.
2 and 3 battles back in the field. Meanwhile, Brad Loyette is looking at the 16 of Nicholson. He'll catch him off into 3 and 4 as they come around to complete lap number 8.
Loyette right there, lap traffic right in front of him. The battle for second, though, a good one is Roller trying to hold off the 23 is Seth Bergman. Bergman in the Peterson Motorsports 23 down to the inside line. Roller, though, able to hold on to the runner-up spot.
Brad Loyette with a half a straightaway advantage, but he is facing heavy lap traffic, and now Bergman is all over Roller as he'll take second off into turns 1 and 2.
Down to the inside line, your race leader trying to put the 16 a lap down to competition. Anthony Nicholson right now holding up your race leader, and that's going to allow Seth Bergman to start to close in.
Now it's Roller back into second. Now Bergman looks ahead. Great battle for the second spot, side by side off turn number 2. Give the spot to Bergman.
Joey Mohan will go a lap down to competition as they work through turns 3 and 4. Brad Loyette again stuck behind the 16 of Anthony Nicholson as the battle for second continues on. Seth Bergman going to use a lap car as a pick.
We are only 11 laps in, and brake pads are already glowing red around this oval as Loyette goes to work on Anthony Nicholson, working the low side. Bergman trying to reel in your leader now. Count at 12 laps down, 38 to go.
It's going to be Brad Loyette, your race leader, Seth Bergman, Jared Roller. Then it's going to be Cody Gardner, Gary Taylor right now, your top 5 as your leader. This time going to work down to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Still not able to get around Nicholson.
How about Cody Gardner? He is going to take 3rd away from the 5-car Roller. Cody Gardner started back in 12th as that driver is on the move.
One driver definitely on the move, as Gardner able to move up into 3rd down the back straightaway. Now going to try to run down Seth Bergman to battle for 2nd, and Bergman is within about 4 car lengths of your race leader down the back straightaway.
Joey Mohan calls it a night. He pulls it to the infield. Cody Gardner is catching your leaders in a hurry as Bergman is really making up ground on Brad Loyette now with 15 laps down.
And Loyette will have the 81 of Danny Wood in front of him as that's the next car in danger, going a lap down to competition as we will have 35 laps to go in this 50-lap feature event. Brad Loyette down the front straightaway, about a half a straightaway till he finds more lap traffic. Bergman right there.
Bergman is making up major ground, and Gardner's catching both of them quickly as right now Loyette trying to find a way around Danny Wood. He works the high to middle part of the track. A lot of wheel spin off turn 4, and new leader off into 1 and 2, Seth Bergman.
As they work down the back straightaway, now it's going to be Loyette back up to the top spot. Brad Loyette going to fight back into the race lead. He'll steal away from Seth Bergman. Bergman, though, going to diamond turns 3 and 4 down to the bottom of the track, racing to turns 1 and 2.
Loyette by half a car length at the flag stand. 18 laps down, 32 to go. Now Cody Gardner has caught both of those drivers.
3-car battle. What a show at the front of the field. Cody Gardner, Seth Bergman, both going after Brad Loyette. Loyette cooking the right rear off of turn number 4.
Don't look now, but Gary Taylor has joined the party, and it's a 4-car dogfight for the lead down the back straightaway.
Driver bicycling over in turns 1 and 2, able to hold on to it. That was the 39.
Brad Bowden able to hold on to that race car, as meanwhile Loyette with a great restart, and he is driving away from the pack right now.
On open racetrack, Brad Loyette absolutely walks the dog on these guys. Seth Bergman still running in 2nd. Then it's going to be the 1G, the 1X, and the 5 right now running out your top 5.
Back in the pack 2 and 3 wide, but your top 5 cars pulling it out on the field. Now Loyette stumbles a little bit through 3 and 4, and Bergman cuts his lead in half.
Cody Gardner right up against the cushion through turns 3 and 4. He has got that thing way up there as we come to the halfway point. 25 in, 25 to go.
It'll be 26 down out of turn number 4. Cody Gardner flirting with disaster on the high side, and now he is reeling in Seth Bergman as Loyette has stretched it back out on Bergman to a half a straightaway advantage.
Gary Taylor running middle to bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Now he'll go to the high side to turns 3 and 4. The 2-1 cars right up against that outside wall, but it is Cody Gardner, the one flirting with disasters. Now Gary Taylor down to the inside trying to till away 3rd.
And now lap traffic stares Brad Loyette in the face once again as they are on the same straightaway. Cody Gardner reeling in Bergman, and he's bringing Gary Taylor with him. Great battle for 2nd.
Jared Roller in the 5 right now, about a half a straightaway behind this really good battle for 3rd. The 1 still going at it. It's going to be Gardner and Taylor. Taylor sealing away.
Jared Rollers continues to hold down the 5th spot as Gary Taylor up to 3rd. Cody Gardner back to 4th, and now lap traffic. Brad Loyette would love to see a caution right now as we've got 30 laps in the books.
Right now, 20 laps remain. 30 in, 20 to go. Brad Loyette still your race leader. Seth Bergman. Then it's going to be Gary Taylor, Cody Gardner. Then it's going to be Jared Roller, still your top 5. Terry Gray right now going to run in 6th, but look who's up to 7th. It's going to be Wayne Johnson. Johnny Herrera going to sit in 8th. 9th right now is going to belong to the 16. No, excuse me, they kept the 41 of Jason Johnson. Then it's going to be the 87X of Justin Carver right now, rounding out your top 10.
Brad Loyette working on Logan Forward, and that's allowed Bergman to close in on him. Now only a 3-car length advantage for Loyette as Seth Bergman right there with him as they work off into turn number 3.
Next driver in danger going a lap down to competition will be the 5H of Logan Forler. Forler out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. He's got the 39 right in front of him. Those two going to battle for position. That's going to be Bowden as here comes your leaders.
You can throw a blanket over the top 3. It's the number 5 car of Loyette, it's Bergman, and then it's Gary Taylor. Very interesting grooves off turn number 4, and now they're nose to tail for the lead.
Loyette all the way around the bottom of the racetrack. Bergman diamond in the corner, and Gary Taylor following the 23 as they're still within about 3 car lengths of each other as they work through turns 3 and 4. The battle for 2nd. Taylor goes after it. Can't get it done. Bergman now after your race leader to the inside of the 05.
Loyette may be a sitting duck in that lead as right now he does not know what's going on behind him, and they are running all over the racetrack. Now he looks to the inside of Logan Forward. Cannot clear that 5 car, and here comes Bergman. It's side by side into 1 and 2 for the lead.
Seth Bergman going for the race lead. He'll get held by lap traffic this time. Brad Loyette back to the top spot, and he's going to clear the 5H of Logan Forward into 3 and 4. Spoiler, though, going to battle back with your race leaders as Seth Bergman back into the race lead.
And now it's going to be Brad Loyette back to the lead through turns 1 and 2. And it's Bergman in second. In the third spot, it's Gary Taylor. What a battle for the top spot.
Starting to near our final 10 laps. Here comes Bergman into the top spot. Seth Bergman with a huge run through turns 3 and 4. Steals it away as now the 1G of Gardner up on the high side going to go after Brad Loyette.
What a battle at the front of the pack. It'll be 11 to go off 4. And now Cody Gardner up into the second. No, make it third as the Loyette slams the door on him now with 11 to go.
Brad Bowden sitting between the 23 Seth Bergman and the 05 of Brad Loyette. Loyette having to get off the bottom of the racetrack. If he wants to build his momentum back up, he will do so. Gardner, those right there, along with Gary Taylor. And here comes Johnny Herrera. Johnny Herrera has charged up into the top 5, and he's looking for more.
Where did Herrera come from? As now he'll go past Gardner into the 4th spot.
Just like the days of Duke City Raceway, Johnny Herrera has got the right rear up against the concrete here as he works into turns 1 and 2. But how about the battle for second?
Seth Bergman has checked out a straightaway advantage. Brad Loyette in second. In the 3rd spot, it is the 1 car of Gary Taylor. But now here comes Herrera.
Johnny Herrera, he's got the battle for second in his sights, as it looks like we could have problems brewing and slower traffic. Everybody's going to clear themselves out. Brad Loyette still trying to hold on to second. He's got Gary Taylor, Johnny Herrera right there.
Johnny Herrera all over the 1X car of Gary Taylor as they battle. Meanwhile, Bergman with a full straightaway advantage and clear track in front of him.
Seth Bergman right now sitting pretty as he's going to come to the final 6 laps of competition. 6 laps remain, and Johnny Herrera and Gary Taylor are going to go at it.
It is slide job city right now as Loyette shoots back to second. Gary Taylor in third. Herrera in the 4th spot. And back in 5th, it's Cody Gardner. As now Wayne Johnson from the back of the pack into 5th.
Wayne Johnson, though, stalling through the middle of turns 3 and 4. That's going to allow the 1G of Cody Gardner back around him as we've got big problems entering turns 3 and 4. And fire! We've got a fire!
And Gary Wright, the number 9 car, fire in that race car as he is working to get out of that race car.
Out of the race car comes Gary Wright. Methanol fire is a very scary situation because methanol burns clear to these drivers.
Well, Gary Wright out walking around away from that car. Very thankful he was able to get out of there. That car went up in flames quick.
As the attrition rate is high in this 50-lap feature event, we have 44 laps in the books. It'll be a 6-lap dash to the finish, set to go green this time off of 4.
Seth Bergman back on the loud pedal. 44 down, 6 to go, and Bergman with a good jump on Loyette as he heads off into 1 and 2. And Bergman, your leader, Loyette, 3 car lengths back in second. It's 5 car lengths back to Gary Taylor.
Both drivers around the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Both drivers take to the high side through turns 3 and 4. Seth Bergman still in command. Johnny Herrera, though, trying to run down Gary Taylor and battle for third.
Meanwhile, while they battle for third, Wayne Johnson soldiering through. He holds down the 5th spot. And in 6th, it's Terry Gray.
Terry Gray up on the high side of the racetrack trying to run down Wayne Johnson. Now Johnson right up against that concrete as they exit turn number 4. As we go back to the battle for third, Herrera down to the inside. Can't get the run on Gary Taylor.
It's 3 to go off turn 4. 3 laps remain for your leader, Seth Bergman. Loyette in second, Gary Taylor in third, Herrera in 4th, Wayne Johnson in 5th.
Down the back straightaway, Seth Bergman's 23 up to the high side this time. He'll come to the twin flags 2 more times around from his first ASCS National Tour victory. Can he hold on?
Clear track in front of Bergman. A straightaway lead over Brad Loyette. While meanwhile, still a great battle for third. Gary Taylor's got it. Herrera wants it. White flag in there.
White flag, your leader down the front straightaway as we go back to the battle for third. Gary Taylor now with some breathing room between him and Johnny Herrera as they work down the back straightaway, though this time into turn 3 and a turn 4. His first National Tour win will be the Rock and Roll 50. It's Seth Bergman.
Coming home in second, Brad Loyette. Then it'll be Gary Taylor, Johnny Herrera, Wayne Johnson in 5th, Terry Gray in 6th, 7th will go to Jason Johnson, 8th will go to Justin Carver, and 9th it'll be Brady Bacon. Danny Wood rounds out your top 10.
As he has made his way to the front straightaway, ladies and gentlemen, his first National Tour win at the Rock and Roll 50, Seth Bergman!